I don't know what's going on. So this is a complete waste of time. Welcome back. We're down in the shed again today because I'm determined to get my shed off grid. Might be kind of silly and meaningless, but in the wintertime I run lights for the chickens. I got a little heater here that I keep to help keep the shed fairly warm so it's not terribly cold for the chickens. And January to February, I start up plants, which means some more lights, a couple of heating mats. That solar panel will do me good for that. And in the last video, you saw that I kind of don't understand, don't know what I'm doing very well. So I'm doing bits by bit until I figure things out well enough to get them done. Today, I need to install this. This is a power inverter. It's good for 400 watts. It's got two plugs on this end, and on this end it has these two lug nuts where you can attach the positive and the negative. It's got a on-off switch on this side, a couple of USB ports, 3.1s even. So this is what's going to change the power coming from the solar to the type that I can actually use to plug stuff in and run things off of. So I've cleared away the failed setup, the misunderstood setup, where I thought I could just plug it into the little panel there. Lights are off in the shed because I unplugged all the cords and cables to try to make this a little bit more understandable. So I have power bar up here. It's plugged into an extension cord that runs from my basement. I really want to do away with the extension cord. Over here we have the control panel for the box, and this white cord is the cable coming out of that needs to go on to this. So I need to hook that up, and I need to screw this onto the wall in a spot where it'll actually work. Might actually have to go in between a couple of the boards on this pallet so that I got the coverage to keep the screws aligned. So I'm going to end up having to put it kind of like this, so I got access to it on both ends, and there's little mounting holes here, little tabs for screws. And because of the spacing on the pallet, the board is not actually wide enough for me to get both sides in. I'm going to have to hang it off of the edge of the board to try to keep all four corners done, attached to the board. So that's that part done. Now I need this part to come down. See, the worst thing is, for some of it, is not understanding. I have a ground wire here. There's no ground wire attachment on this thing. So I don't know exactly what I should do with that. I don't know what's going on. This came with the solar panel, and it's supposed to give you a lot of information. Hey, look, there's a lot of pictures here, a lot of symbols, a lot of stuff. It's all in French. I don't read French. I don't know French. And I thought it was a problem with the book being half missing. There's the staples for the book. Pages are numbered. This is page 3, this is page 4. This is intentional. So the first half of the book is useless to anybody that doesn't read English. And the second half of the book is useless to anybody who doesn't understand French. So this is a bilingual required solar panel. And I don't know what's going on. The power inverter should work for this, as far as I understand. E14 keeps coming up on that little control panel, and the light bulb is flashing, and I don't know what that means. I have a feeling the power inverter is not exactly the way I intended it, and that this is meant to go to the battery and is not exactly meant to hook up to a solar panel this way. If I hook up the inverter to the battery, I got double clamps on the battery then. What's going to happen? That panel is not controlling anything. Show me power coming in from the solar panel. Alright, so now the inverter is on. I guess maybe... Why do I need to hook up the battery to the... 13.8 volts. So this is a complete waste of time. So that piece of wire was no good for anything. Now, does this mean we're running off the battery? I don't know how I did it, but I'm doing it. I can't be wrong if it's working, right? So this timer plug is set up to run the lights in here and in the shed. So this is my cables from the power bar and the extension cord from the house. So what I want done is this going to my inverter, and that runs off the power bar. This yellow cord you can just barely see runs up into the ceiling to that light. I need to restrain that one a bit better. I need to staple that cord in at some point so it doesn't come flying out. Ooh, it looks like the power might be dropping off of this fairly quick. It went from 13.8 down to 12.2 already, just in a few minutes of going. Alright, so ooh. The light inside the coop is still on. I just unplugged the light for the shed. because if I gotta run a light, I'm gonna run a light for the chickens, because that light is a regular incandescent bulb, and it actually provides a little bit of warmth inside the coop. If you're familiar with older videos, I actually have a tin can as like a light shade around the light, and that can warms up, provides a little bit of heat in the coop. Huh. As soon as I plugged in the light for out here, it dropped from 12.7 to 11.7. See that? I unplugged the light in here, 12.3. Huh. I can't see in the camera if this is coming through or not, but the inverter says we're at 12.3. So after 24 hours, and the light being on most of the morning, at least I got it programmed so it comes on 7 8 o'clock in the morning. It's now 20 to 2 in the afternoon. We're still at 12.4. So obviously I need to change out this incandescent bulb to an LED so it uses a lot less power, and get it set up, put on my timer here, because I don't need it on all the time. This is starting to work. This seems to be working. Hopefully you could see that. By the looks of the icons on there, the battery is being charged by the solar panel. And we're coming up is up to 12.4. Okay, something is working here. So there's a project I think I've done. I'm still confused about some of it. I don't understand why it didn't work the way I thought it was going to. I thought that little controller panel that came with the solar panel actually controlled things. Like that's what I thought it was there for. But it seems to be monitoring how much power and stuff is being consumed. Is at 12.7 volts at the moment. It seems to be running things fine. I don't know how long the battery's going to last, but the inverter is not kicking in at the moment. It doesn't seem to be powering up, which it did for the other light. I'm not sure if that means it was burning more power than the inverter needed to do something about. I don't do this for a living. I'm not an electrician. I hate to say it, but I'm also not that smart about a lot of these things. So I'm kind of fumbling around in the dark trying to make this work. It seems that I've accomplished that, but there's a lot of whys and wherefores that I'm not sure I understand just yet. So if you understand this better, or if you've been through this and have some idea, feel free to leave a comment down below, because I'd appreciate it. Everything seems to be working. The inverter just started flickering its light between 12.7 and 12.8. It caught my attention. Sorry for that, I got distracted. But it seems like my shed is now off grid. Next step I'll probably do off camera somewhere is digging up that extension cord and taking that away from the shed. I mightn't rush to do that. Maybe I'll do that in the spring. Wonder what happens if I keep that hooked up to the power bank, how long it would take to drain the battery for household usage. And I'm wondering how fast my single car battery here would last if I'm out using power tools. I got lots of questions, not very many answers, and I clearly don't know what I'm doing that well. But today I got something done that I've been looking to do for a while. I'm still not sure how I accomplished it, but it's done. It needs some improvements and I'll work on that, but we're getting there. I got my shed off grid. Things are looking better. I guess I'm also going to have to find out how to rig up more batteries in tandem at some point, because I'm pretty sure one battery is not going to do. So I'm going to have to figure out how to run them in series, so that or parallel, whichever one is actually better for this. Probably parallel, so that they're all draining at an equal rate. And I'm going to have to get some more batteries and see how many it actually takes to keep the place decently warm for the chickens, and a light or two going. And I'm happy to have accomplished this much. But anyway, I hope you've been entertained at least for this. Hope I didn't bore you too terribly. I know a few of my coworkers say my voice helps them fall asleep easy. Not sure that's a compliment all day, but I'll take what I got. I hope you're having a good day, and I hope I see you again in the next video. My name is Steven, this is Harsh Delight Exports, and I'll see you in the next video.